been humming and hawing about whether to make a video about this or not, but you know, there might be other people out there that are looking to get fit and used to ride bikes when they were younger. I've met quite a few people in the last 6 months that I've been riding mountain bikes again, and you know, I'm 57, but other people in their 40s and 50s that have sort of got back into mountain biking to get fit, and then I really love it. It's so good just being out in the woods, and you know, you can either just ride around on the trails, or you know, you can push yourself a bit out of your comfort zone, and there's so much you can do, and just gently, slowly progress. So you're increasing your skills, so it gives you like challenges, and it gives you just another reason to get out and exercising. So, you know, this definitely isn't for experienced mountain bikers or young guys that get better really quick after they've fallen off. You know, I guess if you're riding a mountain bike and you're challenging yourself a bit, you are going to fall off. You know, I've fallen off a few times. You don't hurt yourself badly, but when you're older, it definitely hurts a bit more. It takes longer to get better, but hey, you know, it's such a good experience. You know, it's springtime now, and so I've been riding all through the winter, and absolutely loving it and getting fitter. I can feel myself getting fitter. Anyway, so I thought I'd do a quick video just to sort of show how easy it is to progress, and it looks really intimidating to start with, especially when you see other people jumping off big things and whatever, but you soon progress, and you know, it's such a good feeling to get to that next level. So yeah, I'm just gonna spend a few minutes showing you. There's a little piece, I'm in Chicksands, and there's a little feature here that's really good progression. It's a really good way to explain how you can just slowly, easily, with low consequence, you know, get used to doing something that's a bit fun. So this wood is just like a pine wood. It's in Chicksands. There's a lot of pine woods around here. Woburn Sands is just down the road, there's a bike park here, but there's also these trails around the woods, and there's a bike park and trails at Woburn as well, so it's quite a nice area to get back into mountain biking. So this bomb crater here is quite a good example of how you can slowly get into it and just, you know, be patient with yourself, and don't push it. And really the idea, I think, is, certainly from my point of view, is just to do the simple stuff over and over again until you're so comfortable with it that the next scariest thing doesn't look as scary anymore. And if you keep progressing, it takes you know, give yourself plenty of time, and you'll know when you're ready to progress. And it feels kind of natural. So, you know, don't be intimidated when you start off. So for this one, for instance, there's a path that comes up here, and you can sort of roll in really slowly, and this part here you can literally just roll down. You get a little bit faster. You just keep your eye on where you want to go. You know, you'll go where you're looking, so you look at the path down there, and you'll just roll off of here, really easy. And then as you go across, it gets a bit more challenging. So here there's a lip. It's probably like a foot, so it's like a little drop, but still low consequence. You know, you've got to be careful of this root sticking up, so you've still got to think about it. But if you're used to this one and you're coming to do this one, there's not much difference in it. And then you can come across here, and there's a little slope, and you kind of have to bounce off of the slope because it steps down. And if you were just to roll off that, it would probably be okay, but you know, it's going to feel uncomfortable because your front end's going to be light and high. So you're better off going a little bit faster and just giving it a little bounce as you go off of that. But again, keeping an eye on where you're going. So always be looking out here or up this slope here. And then you can come around the other side of the tree. And, you know, this took me months, probably 3 or 4 months to get across to doing this one. And then this one, again, the drop's only 2 foot or something, and it slopes down, so it's slightly easier. But you just sort of go across it, and you push the bike out in front of you as you're going off the lip. and so you don't get that horrible dropping feeling. You kind of just nicely land on 2 wheels and then you whiz up. So you're going quite fast and you just whiz up there, and that takes all your speed away. So nice and safe. And then again, this bit's a bit more challenging because there's some roots and the drop's a lot bigger. It's like 2 or 3 feet. So you really need to sort of bounce off that or push the bike out and go a little bit faster. But again, you can land on 2 wheels on this kind of slope and then take your speed off by running up there. So yeah, it's a really nice progression. And if you just take your time and wait until you're comfortable, don't push yourself past your comfort zone, because you need to get your skills up. It's definitely different skills going from rolling down there to coming off of these. And I guess one thing I've learned is when you're going off something where there's a drop, you need to make sure your front wheel is traveling forwards and it's not going to drop too much. So you either do that by doing a little bounce as you're going across it, or what's easier is to just push your bars out a bit like you're pushing a shopping trolley away from you, and that keeps the front wheel going forwards a bit longer, so you've got time for your back wheel to be dropping off. Because what you don't want is your back wheel to be here and your front wheel just drop down like that, because you'll be fine, but it won't feel nice. It'll feel a bit scary. So just go a little bit faster, and just as your front wheel's going off the edge, you push it away from you like you're pushing a trolley. And that pretty much works on all sizes of drops. Right from these huge ones you see on YouTube with these crazy guys, all the way to these small ones. So this is the view from at the bottom. Again, it's hard to sort of show you how it is quite steep, and I'm 6 foot tall, and there's probably another foot or 2 on top of me from the bottom here. So it's relatively steep. You go quite fast, and you can see there there's a bit of a drop, not so much on that side. So it's a really cool place to progress a bit. There's a nice runoff this way and this way. Yeah, I hope you find this interesting. Let us know if there's anybody else out there that's sort of doing the same thing. And you don't need to spend a huge amount of money. I started off on my brother's old Stinky, which I think you can get second hand for 400 quid, which is a fine bike. It's quite heavy, but And then I got this Marin, which is a hardtail, but it's a really capable bike, really rugged. It's designed for trails and bike parks and stuff. So buy some decent tyres. I think I got this second hand from a Brink, who's a really good bike shop down the road, for about 700 quid. I think it's about 1,500 quid new. So this is a Marin San Quintin 2. There's a 1 which is lower spec, 2 which is a medium spec, and there's 3 which is a bit more expensive, which is a higher spec. But the 2 seems like a good compromise. It's got a good set of equipment on it. The fork's okay. I upgraded the brakes, because when you're going on really steep stuff, it's nice to have really good. I've got Shimano 4-pots on it, but that was 6 months after I started riding, so you don't need them to start with. On the more modern bikes, I think this is just over a year old, so they do have a couple of features. If you are going to get a second-hand bike, don't get ones. Well, the newer ones do have some advantages. So the chain sets are a little different now, so you only have one cog on the front, and then you have a bigger range on the back, which means when you're riding around, it's just less complicated and there's less stuff to go wrong. Also, they have what are called dropper posts. So this seat is controlled by this lever here, so you can just press that and it goes up, and you press it again, it releases, you can just sit on it, it'll go down. And the advantage of that is when you're climbing uphill, it's good to have the seat up, so you can just rest your bum on the seat and you've got more power on the pedals. And then when you're going downhill, you really want that down, so if you go over a bump or something, the seat doesn't push your butt up in the air and you go over the handlebars. So when you're going over things like that, it's always a really good idea to have the seat down, because when you go over the top, you don't sort of hit your bum on the seat and it push you over the handlebars. So that's a really nice feature. Before I sign off, I should say, I always wear a helmet, but I left it at home, so I thought I'd come out here and do a gentle ride around. That's why I'm kind of doing this video, because I can't go too crazy. But anyway, wear your safety stuff. Anyway, let me know if you find this interesting, and I'll do a few more videos and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.